let's have a quick conversation on this. I'm joined on Zoom by Samuel Dowuno. He's founder of Tech Focus 24, also a telecoms analyst. Good afternoon to you. First off, what impact could the allocation of additional spectrum have on network quality and service delivery for mobile users in the short to medium term? You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So, I mean, as we all know, spectrum is actually the lifeblood of any telecom service that you can think about. Spectrum is what gives them the leverage to be able to offer high quality services, to be able to, deal with issues of congestion. So it is spectrum that this whole thing ran on. That's the best way I can put it in layman's language. So spectrum is what they need to be able. For instance, I can tell you that, for instance, I know that Telecel, for instance, has invested some money in their network upgrades and stuff like that. But if you upgrade the network and you don't have the spectrum to then be able to let the customers enjoy it, then of course customers will not get the benefit of all the upgrades. So the spectrum is very, very, very important. So the spectrum that was given to Telecel and then MTN is expected to bring some improvement. For we the customers. MTN, as we all know, they've been piling on customers. Over the years, they were made an SMP even after the SMP thing, they were still piling on customers, which shows that really the SMP policy is not really working. So then it brings some congestion on the network, which then means that they will need more spectrum. And once you give them the spectrum, then they will be able to let the investment that they've made, the millions of dollars that they are talking about, investment they made, if they have the spectrum, then it will then trickle down to the customers.
Right.
So spectrum is very, very important. Yes.
So the government is hoping to push down data prices lower by the end of the year, whilst calling for improved services. And given the infrastructure and investment challenges some of these telecom companies have, how realistic is this push for lower data prices?
Dario, I'm going to come to the data prices in a second. You see, I also think, from where I sit, I think that one of the ways that the previous government thought was going to help to all the telcos to then be able to improve their customers' network service was the introduction of the NGIC, the introduction of the wholesale 5G network. And remember, it is not just a 5G thing, it's also 4G and 5G. So then, again, if somebody has invested so much into the network, but they don't have spectrum, like I said, they will not be able to let customers enjoy. But some of these spectrum, 4G and 5G spectrum, are with NGIC. So then, if the minister and the regulator can then ensure that all the regulatory hurdles and stuff are cleared so that NGIC can start, then people like Vodafone and even MTN and all those who can go to the NGIC and get in some spectrum, more spectrum, to be able, because I know, like I said, I know that Vodafone need a lot of spectrum. I keep saying Vodafone. Telecel need a lot of spectrum, and that some of that spectrum is available at NGIC, for instance. And I believe that if we can let NGIC really start work, it will solve some of this problem. Data, for me, I think it has got to do with taxes. Because telcos are paying all the way up to 40%. Of all their earnings into taxes. So if we can reduce taxes, they will share. Because why? There was a time when CST, some of the telcos were even absorbing the CST on our behalf as customers. But it came to a point they said they cannot absorb it anymore. So really, the increase in that data price, the main issue there was the taxes. So and I'm sure that is what the minister is trying to do. He's trying to negotiate with the finance ministry to see whether they can also back down some of the taxes so that we can be able to improve. Because, Daryl, if you check across Africa, I think Ghana has got one of the cheapest data prices. But the issue in Ghana is that because incomes are low, then now when you do the ratio, then you realize that we are probably even paying more. We should pay. But in terms of the nominals, the actual price point, Ghana, I think the top three, we have the lowest. We have one of the lowest prices. We are in the top three. So,
okay.
we'll see how it goes.
Well, the minister also finally talked about revamping AT. I mean, what's your take on how the progress is being made so far? In a minute, if you can.
Oh, I mean, AT, the minister has said it already, that AT, even their equipment, I don't want to use the word obsolete, but they say their equipment are at the end of life. So even today, if you give AT 4G spectrum, or you give them a 5G spectrum, they can't even roll it out because it looks like their equipment is 2G and 3G. And they are saying that they are not getting an investor to improve. That is what we are looking for. Once they can improve upon their own network, then the spectrum, the advanced spectrum, which is 4G and 5G, can be of use to them and then can be of benefit to their customers. So if the investor is coming, this investors thing has been coming since forever. They negotiated something with Hanam and partners. We never saw it. We also heard about some local businesses being involved. I know about one real estate company who had wanted to join in to then invest in AT. We never saw it. So we are really hoping, because the minister assured us, one of his interviews, that in spite of the fact that there is a huge big market player, some investors have expressed interest in AT and Telecel. So we are waiting. So we are really waiting to see what is going to happen on that front as well.
Thank you so much for joining us, Samuel Dawuna, founder of Tech Focus 24, also a telecoms analyst. I appreciate your time here on The Marketplace.